Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, I got most-ish things done, I think, on my planner for today, which has been really nice because I've been using my planner. Also, too, the last 2 days, I've remembered to take my vitamins both days in a row, which has also been a big thing, I guess. It's really good when I am using my planner because it's always one of those things where I'm like, I have to remember to check things off and I have to remember to like do stuff. And although I never remember to write like take vitamins in my planner, which I probably should because it would probably remind me, I did set my vitamins up like for the week because I have a little like week, you know, thing organized or whatever. And when I set that up was also when I set up my planner, so I feel like I did it like at the same time. And so I was like, if I do one thing, I have to remember to do the other. So setting those both up this week, like to the start of this week, I feel like made me have success then for the week, if that makes sense. And also too, like remembering to take my vitamins because I have the whole week set up, so I'm gonna know if I didn't take it because it'll still be in there for that day. But in yesterday's vlog I was talking about the weather and how, like, you know, I'm looking forward to fall weather and stuff like that. And not even so much, I mean, I'm looking forward to fall weather, but I'm also looking forward to like fall themes, I guess, and like fall decor and like all that kind of stuff. And like there is already stuff that is like out on the internet that, like, I saw Bath and Body Works has got like candles and stuff like that, like fall themed, like spooky kind of like candles and stuff like that, and like body, you know, lotions and body washes, that kind of stuff. And like I'm not normally really into like that kind of stuff. That's never been my vibe, really. It's funny, my cousin is like totally into that, so it's whenever I see anything like that, I like always think of her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she would love this, she would love this. Like all that kind of stuff. But like I've never really been that big into it. Like for like, I don't mind like, oh, just for like a little period of time, like during like, you know, October, like I'm a little into like the spooky stuff or whatever. Like I'm not the type of person that like lives in that like all year round. That's like like I said, my cousin, she's totally like that. And like I was saying, whenever I come across something like that, like today when I came across that, probably would have made me think of her. Instead I was like, oh yay, fall. Like I was like associating it more with like myself and like wanting to celebrate Halloween and like being excited for fall like already. And like again too, like actually wanting to like do that kind of stuff, because normally I'm not like even a real, like even in my room, like I might have a Christmas tree. I don't really decorate for like the seasons anyway, but I feel like, you know, if my room everything gets finished and I'm in my new room by like Halloween, maybe I would decorate and do maybe a little like spooky type stuff in my room or something like that. I don't know. I'm still already looking forward to fall kind of. But I did end up getting the bathroom cleaned today too, is another one of those things. And here's the thing, guys. I mentioned this, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, like how I really have liked cleaning recently, especially too like the week right before 4th of July when I was like cleaning or gardening like every day to like get ready for 4th of July and, you know, the party we were throwing and everything like that. But because of it, I was listening to music all the time. Like I had headphones in all the time, and I realized like this past week I haven't really listened to any music, other than the only times that I do is when I'm making my grocery list, which is normally like an hour or so, like also when I'm cleaning. So in all honesty, I listen to maybe like 5 hours maybe of music like in total a week. Like I don't really listen to that much music. Like I don't put music on to really do a whole ton of other stuff. I mean, maybe when I'm cooking or something like that, but like because I'm like, oh, I have to go and get my headphones or like, you know, whatever, like I don't normally go out of my way to like you know, if I'm like gonna cook something, if I'm like, well, I know this is gonna be like a 2-hour thing, like, you know, or over an hour or whatever, you know, depending on what I'm cooking, I guess. A lot of times it doesn't take me that long, but you know, if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clean out the fridge and like do a whole bunch of stuff or do a whole bunch of like meal prep stuff or whatever it is, then like, yeah, I might end up doing that. If I'm like, let's do the dishes and then cook, and maybe I'm gonna do laundry too, like if I do all of that combined, maybe I can justify like then putting headphones on and going and listening to music. But like, I honestly don't listen to music that much, and I think that's why though it's like a reward for doing the things that I don't want to do, because I don't listen to music all that often. If I'm doing other things, then I'm not normally also listening to music. Those are like the only events of my week that I like listen to music while I'm doing something. And like, I mean, I guess if I'm doing other stuff like computer type stuff or, you know, work, whatever, that kind of thing, I might end up like listening to music more often, but like I really don't very much. Like, so again, I feel like it's, again, cleaning and, you know, like making a grocery list, like that kind of stuff. It's not my favorite things to do, but I've been enjoying it, I think, more because it's more of a reward to do it and get to listen to music. But like I said, it's not like I couldn't listen to music outside of that. It's just I don't normally like to unless I'm like needing to focus on something. Like, listening to music helps me focus more, so like that's when I listen to it. And I, you know, again, to focus like when I'm doing those things, so it's like I don't really end up listening to music if I'm not, and it's more of a reward because I'm like, oh, I really want to listen to something. Like, even to like when me and Jack would go walking, like I'd listen to music because that was like something that, again, too, was I didn't have anything else to do. It was just walking. Like, you know, I mean, me and Jack would talk a lot of the times too, but sometimes I also just sort of talk through my music at the same time. But still, that would be the only other time. Like, you know, I didn't have a lot of other events of things that would be going on where I'd be listening to music or like go out of my way to do it. Like, I only really ever listen with like my headphones on. I don't normally like turn music on in my room and just like do something. And you know, like, I don't know, like I'm not, you know, or even too, if I'm like, oh, like I'm just gonna be in the kitchen for a little bit, like I'll turn on music or something like that. Like, I don't do it unless I have put headphones on, and I normally don't like going out of my way to put them on unless I know it's going to be like a long process that I'm going to end up doing something for. Like, I have a speaker in my room, but like there's not one in the rest of the house. I think we have like an Alexa, I don't know, maybe an Echo or Echo Dot or something like that. I think my aunt gave it to me. My parents never got it set up. I don't even know where it is anymore. Like, I actually have really no clue. But like, I mean, you can like listen to music like with that and stuff, but because everybody else is in the rest of the house, it's always weird when like one person puts on their music to go and do something. So like everybody, like, again too, like Jack goes and mows the lawn and like he listens to his own music. Like, if my mom's doing something at her computer, like she'll put headphones on or whatever and like listen to her music. Like, everybody kind of listens to their own music. Nobody ever is like putting music on for like everybody to do stuff, except for like when me and my dad are working on like a project where like it doesn't make sense to like have like headphones on or like earbuds, whatever. Like, I mean, my dad will still listen to stuff like on his phone or something like that, but a lot of times it's more like, oh, like if we're gonna do things together, like I said, you know, like when we were doing all the upstairs projects over the summer last year, we would like put music on for like everybody, and like Jack would like bring his computer upstairs or something like that. Like, we'd all listen to music and like do something at the same time, but it was normally something like we all agreed on. And we all have similar taste, I feel like, in music, where like nobody's like, oh my gosh, I hate that, I don't want to listen to that or whatever. I mean, sometimes there's something you're more in the mood to listen to than other stuff, but like we just, it like, that's not our household. Like normally people don't just have like music on and it's like for the whole house to hear. I actually think I'm really the person that probably does that the most, where like I will listen to something out of like my computer speakers or like on my like speaker in my room or off of my TV or whatever, and like just like, and other people can hear it, but it's still in my room. But like very rarely does anybody else do that. But back to my main point, I feel like I get more stuff done and like it's more rewarding and it feels less of a chore. I think that's the key word. It's like it's less of a chore when like I get to listen to my music to do those things. And again too, it's not like I deprive myself from being able to listen to music. If I wanted to, I could. It's just I don't really ever like want to take that much time to like turn my, you know, headphones on and then go and set up the music and then go and listen to it. Like, even though it's not that long of a process, it's like it'd take me just as much time to like throw dishes in the dishwasher in like 10 minutes than it would be to go out of my way to like go and put music on, if that makes sense. So it's like faster for me if I just don't, unless it's something I know is going to take longer, like making grocery lists, cleaning the entire living room. If I know like, oh, I'm going to do like dishes and laundry, then maybe I'll go and like put my headphones on and like do that. But that's still only like maybe 20 minutes, you know, like it's not that long. So like, I'm like, well, I just want to get back to whatever I was actually doing instead of, you know, like taking time out of my day to go and like listen to music, you know, or like do whatever I'm doing and have to listen to music too. It just feels like it takes longer. And then also too, I feel like sometimes I drag things out because I'm like, oh, this really good song is on next, like, you know, so then like I don't want to turn it off, whereas I can get back to what I was doing faster. But if I know that like, oh, it's gonna take me about an hour to clean the bathroom, like then I put my music on and just go and clean the bathroom, and it's like I said, it's more rewarding and I get more stuff done. And I feel like also in a faster time, like the last 2 weeks at least that I've cleaned the bathroom, I feel like it has flown by. And I don't really know if it has or not, but it just feels that way because I listen to music while I'm doing it. And it, like I said, it's more rewarding because I don't listen to music that often. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, and I don't like go that many places. So like, I don't really put the radio on. Like whenever I go somewhere too, like honestly, me and my dad are always listening to sports radio, like all the time. Like, and maybe my mom has some, you know, like throwbacks on in the car if we're going somewhere, but like, I mean, and like Jack even too, like when we were going to like the football scrimmages on Thursday, like he put music on, but it was so close we'd get through like one song, like that would be it and it'd be over. And so I don't know, like I said, it's been working well for me to do that kind of stuff. But other than that, like I said, I don't have a use for music outside of that very often, whereas like some people I know, like I mean, even when I garden outside, I've only started like this year listening to music while I garden. Normally I like being outside and just listening to the birds and like that kind of stuff, so I never really wanted or had a desire to like want to listen to music. Like this year especially, like I said, right before 4th of July, just because I was listening to music so much, because I was getting all my, you know, like so much stuff done, it was like I was doing that more. I think there's just less opportunity for me to like listen to music, whereas again to some people like that, they have like music on all the time. Like they go to the grocery store and they got like, you know, an AirPod in or something like that, you know. Like some people are just always vibing to their music, and like I said, for me it's like I feel like it's more rewarding. I also get less bored of music when it's like fresh. Like I feel more energized listening to it, whereas if I'm like, I've heard the song 3 million times, then it's not as like, I don't vibe to music that gets old or stale, if that makes sense too. So like it feels more, I feel more energetic when I listen to music that feels more fresh because I don't listen to it as often also, if that makes sense, which I think, like I said, actually makes me more productive in whatever I'm getting done and stuff. So anyways, again, had a very productive day, and that was in part because I did get to listen to some music and get some stuff done. But anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.